In the world of boxing, there are fighters whose names become legends not simply because of their records, but because of the way they connected with people. Ricky Hatton was one of those rare athletes who represented more than championships or knockouts. He carried the hopes and voices of the working class on his shoulders. His story is one of grit, passion, triumph, struggle, and resilience, woven together in a life that rose from the council estates of Manchester to the grandest arenas of the world. Even in death, his memory remains an emblem of dedication and heart, leaving behind a legacy that continues to inspire fans across generations. Richard John Hatton was born on October 6, 1978, in Stockport, and raised in the modest surroundings of Hyde, Greater Manchester. His family managed a pub on the Hattersley Council Estate, where Ricky grew up surrounded by the energy of working-class life. From childhood, his liveliness and love for sport were unmistakable. Football was a family tradition, with both his father and grandfather playing for Rochdale, and Ricky himself earning a trial with the youth team. Still, while football had his interest, another sport would capture his soul. At just 14, his uncles took him to Old Trafford to watch Nigel Benn battle Chris Eubank, and the thrill of that moment ignited a fire for boxing that never dimmed. He trained first at Sale West ABC before moving closer to home at a club in Hyde, building discipline and honing the craft that would eventually define his life. After school, Hatton joined his family's carpet business, but an accident with a Stanley knife nearly cost him his fingers. His father quickly shifted him to sales, freeing up more time to pursue boxing seriously. What began as a passion soon became a destiny. Ricky Hatton's amateur career was brief but successful, filled with moments of promise. He won 7 national titles and represented Britain at the 1996 IBA Youth World Championships. His journey there ended in controversy, with a disputed semi-final loss that he felt was influenced by corrupt judging. Disheartened by the politics of amateur boxing, he made the bold choice to turn professional at just 18. He started training at Billy Graham's gym in Moss Side, surrounded by seasoned boxers like Carl Thompson and Michael Gomez, whose influence helped shape him in the early stages of his professional career. His debut came in September 1997, and from the opening bell, his aggressive, crowd-pleasing style captured attention. Scoring a first-round stoppage, he announced his arrival with force. Soon, he was appearing on the undercards of big British fights, sharpening his skills and gaining a following. By 1999, he had made a breakthrough by winning the WBO Intercontinental title, earning recognition as the Young Boxer of the Year by the British Boxing Writers Club. With relentless pressure, punishing body shots, and unending stamina, Hatton built a reputation as one of Britain's most exciting young fighters. In 2000, he claimed the British title, and the following year, he added the WBU belt, which he defended 15 times over the next 3 years, a remarkable stretch that kept his momentum growing. By 2005, Ricky Hatton had emerged as a legitimate world contender. On June 4th of that year, he faced Kostya Tsayu, one of the most respected champions of the era and a clear favorite. In a stunning display of will and aggression, Hatton forced Tsayu to retire on his stool before the final round, seizing the IBF, ring, and lineal light welterweight titles. The victory shocked the boxing world and placed him firmly among the elite. Later that year, he unified further by beating Carlos Mausa for the WBA title. His performances earned him Fighter of the Year honors from the Ring Magazine, ESPN, and the Boxing Writers Association of America. Flush with success, Hatton moved up to welterweight in 2006, facing Luis Collazo for the WBA crown. The fight was close and physically demanding, but Hatton edged out a decision victory, though it was clear the higher weight class pushed his limits. Returning to his natural light welterweight division in 2007, he reclaimed the IBF belt by defeating Juan Urango and later scored one of his most memorable victories, a knockout of Jose Luis Castillo with a vicious liver punch. That same year, he dared to challenge Floyd Mayweather Jr. in a massive Las Vegas showdown. Tens of thousands of his fans traveled from the UK, creating one of the most electric atmospheres the sport had ever seen. Hatton started strong, but Mayweather's precision and defensive mastery took control, and in round 10, Hatton was stopped, suffering his first professional loss. The defeat weighed heavily on him, though he remained resilient. In 2008, in front of 55,000 fans at Manchester's City of Manchester Stadium, he defeated Juan Lozcano in what was then a British attendance record. Later that year, under the guidance of Floyd Mayweather Sr., he dismantled Paulie Malignaggi. However, his return to Las Vegas in 2009 ended brutally when Manny Pacquiao knocked him out in the second round. The devastating loss left Hatton reeling, both professionally and personally. Haunted by back-to-back defeats, Hatton battled depression and substance abuse. He briefly retired in 2011, only to attempt a comeback in 2012. After shedding massive weight, he returned to face Vyacheslav Senchenko. In a cruel twist of fate, Hatton was stopped in the 9th round by a body shot, the very weapon that had defined so many of his victories. That fight convinced him to retire permanently, closing his career with an impressive record of 45 wins, 32 by knockout, against just 3 defeats. Beyond the ring, Ricky Hatton was adored as much for his personality as his achievements. Nicknamed the Hitman, though humorously called Ricky Hatton for his tendency to gain weight between bouts, he connected with fans in a way few fighters ever do. His supporters, loyal and passionate, would follow him across the world, especially to the United States, singing chants and filling arenas with unmatched spirit. His walkouts to Manchester City's Blue Moon reflected his deep love for his hometown club, further solidifying his everyman appeal. He was honored with an MBE in 2007 and appeared on television, and even in the WWE, showing his willingness to entertain beyond the boxing stage. However, his journey was far from easy. He openly struggled with alcohol, drugs, and depression, even entering rehabilitation in 2010 after a cocaine scandal. Yet, through these challenges, Hatton showed vulnerability that made fans care for him even more deeply. He also dedicated time to charity work, supporting children's initiatives and becoming a patron for a Manchester homeless charity, displaying his generous side away from the spotlight. In retirement, Hatton remained heavily involved in boxing. Through Hatton Promotions, he guided the careers of fighters such as Lucas Brown, Zanat Zakianov, and Ryan Burnett, with Zakianov becoming a world champion in 2017. As a trainer, he mentored young talents like Nathan Gorman, Tommy Fury, and even played a key role in Tyson Fury's corner during his dramatic fights with Deontay Wilder. In 2023, he helped Chloe Watson capture the European flyweight title, proving his influence continued long after his fighting days. Even after more than a decade out of the ring, Hatton's passion never faded. In 2025, at age 46, he stunned the boxing world by announcing a comeback to face Issa Al-Daa in Dubai. Though the fight never took place, his willingness to return highlighted his enduring love for the sport. Tragically, on September 14, 2025, Ricky Hatton was found dead at his home in Hyde, aged 46. Authorities confirmed no suspicious circumstances, but the news devastated the boxing community and fans worldwide. Just a year earlier, he had been inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame, a fitting recognition of his remarkable contributions. Tributes poured in, celebrating not just his victories, but the spirit and connection he brought to the sport. At home, Hatton was a family man. He had 3 children, a son, Campbell, born in 2001 during a brief reconciliation with former partner Claire, who followed his father into professional boxing, and 2 daughters, Millie and Fern, with his long-term partner Jennifer Dooley. Despite the chaos of fame, Hatton's devotion to his children was constant and genuine. Ricky Hatton's legacy lies not just in his record or titles, but in the roar of the crowds that sang his name, the energy he carried into the ring, and the humanity he showed outside of it. He was the pride of Manchester, a champion for ordinary people, and a fighter whose journey captured the highs and lows of both sport and life. His story remains one of triumph, vulnerability, and resilience, an unforgettable reminder that true greatness is not only about victories, but about the bond between a fighter and the people who believe in him. And with that, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories like this.